friends throughout my homeschooling experience. I'd like to take this opportunity to ask my wonderful teachers to come up here. My main teacher is my mom. From spelling to Bible, she has answered most of my questions and given me advice on my different assignments. My secondary teacher is my dad. His main subjects... Principal. I still teach. Main subjects are the Bible and, of course, music. I took my first out-of-home class from Mrs. Nelson, and she is... So tell her to come up here when she is. Okay, she taught me 3 separate literature classes. From Anne Bradstreet to Richard Baxter, she made sure we knew and appreciated good literature. She also helped me hone my writing skills. Mrs. Cassidy taught me an amazing grammar class. Her class is the main reason I have a clear understanding of grammar today. She also taught 3 girls, including me, a very fun biology course. We did a lot of interesting dissections, but it wasn't all fun and games. We really had to know our books to get a passing grade. Another enjoyable class I took was speech class with Mrs. Tonkin, who wasn't able to be here tonight. It was amazing. From skits to 10-minute persuasive speeches, we had so much fun. From baking to sewing, I found... Okay. Actually, I'd like to have applause for all these people. And then, from baking to sewing, I have found a lot of different things that interest me. Many of you know that I have my own sewing business, where I specialize in custom designs, although I also do mending and alterations. This past February, I had the amazing opportunity to go to the Rocky Mountain Sew Expo. That was an inspiring event, and I learned many new and interesting things. I spent 2 years planning and sewing the Renaissance dress I am wearing tonight. The most difficult thing about this dress was changing the pattern so I could change the sleeves. I have 2 different sets of sleeves I can wear with it, depending on my mood. I have many friends who helped me with any questions I encountered during my sewing projects. I would like to thank my Grandma Jones for first teaching me how to sew from a pattern. I would like to thank my Grandma Osmond for helping me design my own patterns. Mrs. Cassidy, Mrs. Rose, Mrs. Weatherly, and Mrs. Parkson have all willingly helped me with sewing questions too. I would have made a lot of big mistakes if it hadn't been for all of you. I've also had experience with quilting, beadwork, crocheting, knitting, and embroidery. Woodburning and photography are also interests of mine. If you look at my table, you can see some of the different projects I have done over the years. I love to read, as I imagine most of you here do. I've also been writing a book of my own. It is a historical Christian Western set in LaPorte, where I live. The beginnings of it began last summer, but I have been concentrating on it more wholeheartedly this last semester after becoming part of a very fun creative writing group hosted by the Youngs. Thankfully, they don't toss out graduating seniors, or I would find much of my motivation quickly lost. I would never have been able to learn and perfect so many different skills if I had not been homeschooled. Much of my life centers around music, and practicing 2 instruments daily certainly keeps me busy. I began playing the piano when I was 6, and now I love every minute of it. From playing my own favorite movie soundtracks, from movies like Man from Snowy River or Sense and Sensibility, to composing my own songs and playing my father's compositions, I never run out of things to play. My granddad Osmond gave me a violin when I was 10, and I am so glad he did. I've had 3 different teachers over the years. Angela was my first violin teacher until she left for student teaching, so her younger sister, Courtney Hartman, took over. We had a lot of fun together until she had to leave for college. Now I'm with Cody Saddlemeyer. Thank you, Cody, for helping me perfect my violin techniques and always being willing to give me a hand with all my crazy ideas. I've learned a lot from you, and I hope I can continue taking lessons from you for a long time yet. I would also like to thank Sam Petrone for buying my violin a pickup and encouraging my violin playing. I really enjoy playing the violin, since I play both classical and fiddle genres. There's no way to get tired of either when there is a balance of each. I especially enjoy Irish and Celtic fiddle tunes. My dad also taught me to sing alto and to harmonize when I was 13, and singing has never been the same. You may wonder what I want to learn in the future. For a long time, I've been interested in alternative health knowledge and biology. In fact, I took 3 separate courses in biology since I love it so much. I also became a certified family herbalist this past semester. I really enjoyed learning more about the herbs and how to use them, and I may go on to get my master herbalist certification. I'm also interested in massage. Some of you know that I have a small business for friends and family using raindrop technique and massage to help their bodies get healthier. I'm also interested in acupressure, acupuncture, and chiropractic. I have personally benefited from chiropractic and am interested in learning more about it. Other possible health fields would include doula, midwifery, and aromatherapy. There's so much to learn about the body and the amazing things God gave us to heal ourselves. It often overwhelms me. Whatever direction God leads me, I know all these skills will assist me in the future to help others and be a more complete woman of God, wife, and mother. I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming tonight to celebrate with me and encourage me as I take this step into the next chapter of my life. I can't imagine that I would have gotten this far without your encouragement, your advice, your help, and your love. I am sure no one has better friends than I. I would like to thank my parents and siblings, as well as my extended family, including Aunt Cynthia and her family, and both my grandmas for always being there for me. I'd like to thank Mrs. Cassidy, Mrs. Nelson, Mrs. Newton, Mrs. Schmidt, and Mrs. Snyder for being godly examples to me. I'd like to thank my friends, especially Rebecca, Carolyn, Elizabeth, Emmy, Rachel, Courtney, Naomi, Deanna, Annika, and Mr. Crawford for always being so uplifting and encouraging. The Lord has blessed me so richly through each of you and every one of you. I thank God for every member of you. Lastly, but certainly not least, I would like to thank God for His mercies, which are new every morning. I wouldn't even be here without His hand upholding me. I would never have learned all the things that I love to learn without Him giving me the ability to learn. I would never have been able to play the piano or sew a seam if He had not given me hands. And I would not have hoped today if His Son, Jesus Christ, had not died on the cross for me, giving me the assurance of eternal life with Him and all the saints instead of the terror of hell. I want to spend the rest of my life glorifying God with all I do, and thanks for His amazing sacrifice for me. I thank God for all the examples He has given me in His Word, and in my life of saints who ran the race and will receive a crown of glory on that day. I think of Paul, Esther, Ruth, Naomi, and in my own life, especially Mrs. Crawford and my Grandpa Jones, till we meet again. I pray that I will run the race with as much endurance as they did. May my life be glorifying to you, Lord.